Climate Data Analyst Interview. Low Competition Job Guide 2025. Become a Climate Data Analyst. This guide uses simple words to help new users prepare for interviews, learn key skills, and land a rewarding job in a growing low-competition field. Understanding the Climate Data Analyst role. A climate data analyst helps solve climate problems by studying data like weather records, satellite images, or pollution levels. You clean and analyze this data to find patterns, like how temperatures are changing or how floods might affect cities. Your work helps governments, companies, or scientists make smart decisions to fight climate change. You might work for organizations like environmental groups, tech startups, or research labs. The job is special because it mixes data skills with climate knowledge, so fewer people apply, giving you a better chance to get hired. Your tasks include organizing messy data, using tools like Python to spot trends, making charts to explain your findings, and working with experts like scientists or policymakers. You also need to keep learning about climate topics, like new data from sources such as NASA or NOAA. Since climate issues are urgent, companies need people like you, and the demand for these jobs is growing fast. This role is perfect if you love data and want to help the planet. Essential skills. To be a great climate data analyst, you need a mix of tech skills, climate knowledge, and people skills. First, learn to code in Python or R to handle data, and SQL to search databases. These tools help you organize and study information like rainfall or CO2 levels. You should also know stats like how to find weird data points or predict trends, and tools like ArcGIS for maps. For visuals, use Tableau or Python to make clear charts. Knowing climate stuff like how greenhouse gases work or what renewable energy is super important. You'll use data from places like NASA or the IPCC, so get comfy with those. Soft skills matter too. Explain tricky data in simple ways to people like policymakers. Be a problem solver to tackle big climate questions, and show you care about the environment, not just money. Bonus points if you learn some machine learning like grouping data, but it's not always needed. Practice these skills with online courses or small projects to feel ready. Technical interview prep. In a technical interview, you'll solve problems to show your data skills. You might write a Python code to fix missing weather data or use SQL to find average pollution levels. Practice these on websites like LeetCode or Mode Analytics. You could also get stats questions like how to spot odd rainfall numbers, review tricks like z-scores or IQR. Some interviews give case studies like analyzing sea level data to suggest city plans. Try real climate datasets from NOAA or NASA to practice. For example, download temperature records and make a chart. When you code, explain your steps clearly, like you're teaching a friend. This shows you're not just smart but can communicate too. Use free tools like Jupyter Notebook to test your code. If you're stuck, watch YouTube tutorials on Python or SQL. The key is to stay calm, practice lots, and show how your work helps solve climate problems. Behavioral interview prep. Behavioral interviews check if you're a good fit and care about climate work. They might ask, why do you want to be a climate data analyst? Share a personal story, like how a flood in your town inspired you. Or they could ask, how did you explain tough data to someone? Use the STAR method. Describe the situation, task, action, and result. For example, I made a simple chart to show flood risks to city leaders, and they used it to plan better. Another question might be, how do you learn about climate science? Say you read IPCC reports or follow climate news. Show you've done projects like studying local weather data to prove your passion. Be honest about caring for the planet and avoiding companies that just pretend to be green. Practice answering these questions with a friend to sound confident. Your goal is to show you're a team player who loves making a difference. Domain-specific questions. These questions test your climate knowledge. You might get, how do rising temperatures affect food? Talk about using crop data from sources like the FAO and how you'd study it with Python. Or, what's tough about climate data? Say it's hard to clean messy data or predict the future, but you use tricks like filling in gaps. Another one could be, how do you fix incomplete data? Mention using nearby weather stations or math methods like interpolation. Study big climate topics like how to store carbon or switch to solar power. Read trusted sources like IPCC reports to sound smart. Practice explaining these ideas simply, like you're telling a kid. If you know a bit about policies like global climate goals, mention those too. Doing small projects like mapping heat waves helps you answer these confidently. Portfolio and projects. Make a GitHub page with projects like predicting droughts or charting emissions. Use real data from NOAA, NASA, or the World Bank to look legit. For example, study hurricane data to warn cities about risks, using Python to analyze and Tableau for visuals. Share how your work could help, like guiding where to build wind farms. Start small, maybe clean a weather dataset and make a graph. Post your code online and explain it clearly. If you've done school or volunteer projects, add those too. A good portfolio proves you can do the job, even if you're new. It also makes you stand out since not everyone has one. Strategies to stand out. To get noticed, get certifications like Coursera's climate courses or Google's data analytics certificate. These show you're serious. Join groups like Work on Climate on Slack to meet people and find jobs. Attend online events by Climate Techlist to learn and network. Make your resume fit each job. Use words like climate modeling from the job ad. Apply to startups or groups like Climate Analytics, which need analysts. Many jobs are remote, so check remoteclimatejobs.com or climatebase.org. Show your passion for helping the planet in your applications. If you're new, volunteer on small climate projects to gain experience. Job search tips. Look for jobs on climatebase.org or Indeed. There are over 1,000 climate data analyst roles in the U.S. alone. Salaries average around $77,000, but top jobs pay up to $105,000 in tech or finance. The field is growing as companies use AI and maps to fight climate change. Check job boards often and set alerts for new postings. Apply early to stand out. Tailor your cover letter to each job, explaining why you love climate work. If you're open to remote jobs, you'll find more options. Keep learning new tools to stay ready for this growing field. Why this role matters. Climate data analysts help save the planet by studying data to predict storms, guide clean energy, or plan for rising seas. Your work makes a real difference, like helping cities stay safe or cutting pollution. Since fewer people have the right skills, you have a great shot at landing a job. This role is rewarding if you want to use data to solve big problems and help the world. You're ready to shine as a climate data analyst. Use this guide to prep, stand out, and land a job that helps the planet. Start your journey today.